Uh-oh. Is there more downside ahead? Well, potentially. The chart did just break, and I'm talking about the weekly chart. We now have another weekly lower low. We are not doing what we did over here, so history is not repeating itself right now. Most stocks are red. They're actually quite red. Financials, yeah, they're getting smoked. Everything is, though, unless you're Google, right? Warren Buffett likes the stock, so it went higher. Here were the notes going into this weekend. Be patient when you don't know what to do. We have mixed signals on the 1 day, the 1 week, the 1 month. Let me give you a very quick update, but pause right now if you want to read the notes. This part is particularly important right here. If we go back now on the 1 day, let's just go through time frame by time frame. Let's go to the 1 day. Here's what's not pretty. I put it in my note this morning. We rejected at 674. So as it was happening, I noticed that, I got one line on my chart because every line on my chart means something to me. This is the power plunge. Look at where the volume came in. That's why it's important to me. It's our previous high. And if now we bounce here and reject, that forms a head and shoulders. So we want to see a recapture of 674 versus the 50 DMA. Well, we blew through the 50 DMA. We gapped down, pumped up, and then fizzled out of that area. That's the way that I read it. So gap downs are for buying. The 50 DMA is for buying. We rallied up, but rejected exactly on the key area. And then we went to a lower low. So lower high, lower low. That's not good. No, it's not. Volume is just above the 50 MA as well here. Going to the weekly, it's 4 in a row. I showed you that already. 4. So that's like kind of a correction. 1, 2, 3, 4. At some point we get relief, but sometimes relief comes short or it doesn't. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 3. You can see like we're believe it or not, this is actually a correction. I know that sounds crazy. 4, 3. You don't often get, at least on the weekly here, there's 4. There's the SVB crisis, I think. That's right there, SVB. Oh my God, Silicon Valley Bank, it's over. Unless we're going into one of these where it'll be very easy for us to identify that. If we look at the daily chart, it's kind of what's happening here right now. We're testing the 50 MA. What happens? Do we bounce and save it? Do we get a win that fails? Does it turn into lower highs and lower lows? If it does, we don't ignore the chart. It's that simple. Evidence on the daily says that now we've breached the 50 MA. We've closed below their ones. I also have that in my note right here. So we're technically only 3 out of 4 because we have 2 failed breakdowns in a row. That's a BD. But 1 times close above the 50 MA. So that means that this chart is not looking so hot. That's just the way that I see it. If we close red tomorrow or even marginally green, it's going to be 2 candle closes below the 50 MA. The odds increase. Now we're going to hit that 200 MA. The black line that's a little bit hard to see there. That one right there. It's at 61347. So if we go down and hit that area, I'm not going to be surprised. I don't want that either. Let's be clear. So the difficult part about trading right now is that we have to ask ourselves whether we've seen this movie before. Oh my God, I'm a genius. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. Right? I'm an idiot. I'm a genius. I'm an idiot. I'm a winner or I'm a loser. Well, there's more than just that. What I want to walk you through today is that, again, the market's going to find a reason to explain away the reason why we're down. Oh my God, Nvidia. Are we getting a jobs report on Friday? I'm not sure. But what I do know is that we are getting Nvidia. So I'll come back to that in a moment. Let's finish off the charts on the S&P. And yes, I mostly focus on the S&P because more information from me does not necessarily mean more value. If you look here, I have hundreds of stocks on my list. On this YouTube list, 100 stocks, 100 tickers. On my watch list, 250. On another one, 226. On other lists, I got a lot. I have hundreds of stocks, 1,000 stocks about. But that doesn't mean it's more helpful. If we trade US equities, we want to watch SPY. We can drill lower by looking at QQQ, individual ETFs, single stocks. But if the index tells us the story, which is what most people care about, it's the index, which is S&P 500, we don't need to go any further than that. That's called top-down analysis. So on the pyramid, at the very top is the S&P, top of the pyramid. Let's divide it into 3 chunks here. I'm going to take a quick sidebar for 20 seconds. We have 3 layers to this pyramid. 1, 2, 3. The S&P is the top log. It's the number one most important thing. Single stocks are down here in the middle. So when I do analysis, I look at the S&P because of money, right? BS rolls downhill and money rolls up. The individual securities feed, like this is like an Nvidia, feeds QQQ, QQQ feeds SPY. But when the S&P is going down, look, like everything goes down with it. So it doesn't really matter what these individual things are doing. What matters is if they're green, if they're going against the trend, they're the strong salmon, or what's going down less. That's what matters. But BS always rolls downhill. When the S&P goes down, it drags everything with it. So I care about SPY, the very top of the pyramid, the most important thing. In the middle here, we have like a QQQ. So again, SPY, QQQ, Nvidia. So if you go Nvidia and then don't look at anything else, you're only getting part of the picture. Be more aware of what is happening around there. Just my 2 cents. So now in the weekly, four full candles in a row. It's a correction. I'm going to ask you for a huge favor. Could you please consider smashing that thumbs up or subscribing to the channel? Thank you ahead of time. So the weekly there, now we know. Looking to the monthly, yeah, it's an inside bar. We're near support, but the challenge with support is that it does not often feel like it. The potential for us to go a lot lower, it's not zero. It's also not 100%. There's not bearish evidence on this chart yet. So what I keep saying, which I hope is resonating with a few people, hopefully you who are still watching, get out of here. If we go to here now, and when I say that we're bearishly cautious on the 1 day, and now we're tracking the opposite. It's now 3 out of 4. I just update the note when the candle closes, which will be on Friday. We have potential for us to break the 1 day, which feeds to the 1 week, and the 1 week can feed back to the 1 month. So the 1 month cannot break until this one is starting to break. So now we're at 4 out of 4. If we close lower this week, fully bearish on the 1 day, fully bearish on the 1 week. Yes, we're still above 610. So that would require an additional 50-point decline. If you're not prepared for that, because I'm going to say you're selling on support. But where's support for me on the S&P now? It's exactly there. We got one more level first. That'll be our monthly lower low, 652.85. Because we've already lost the weekly lower low. We blew it out. So what do we do now? Well, we got to watch. The rejection happened. The weekly is breaking. It is not broke in. So what I wanted to get to here, and I had to re-record, so I kind of forgot what I mentioned the first time versus this time. I felt like a genius before. I felt like an idiot before, but the cycle happens over and over. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So what we have to ask ourselves is this. Do we have faith in Nvidia? Do we believe? Do we believe in Trump and believe in the jobs numbers? Well, that's called religion. I'm not religious. I just like making money. That's me. My religion is money. So what I ask myself is this, and I'll show you some ideas in a minute here since you're still watching. If we look here now, the chart's telling us the weekly's busted. My notes are right there. These are my notes for myself. So Justin, make sure you read these. 3 full candles in a row. There's been pressure during the week for 3 weeks in a row. Now that's 4. We're deviating from our previous plan. Is it really fully bully boomtown? Can we slam down to 610? Yeah, well, if we go down to 610, I'm going to say that's the dip I want to buy. This right here, I don't like guacamole anymore. It's got a little bit of brown stuff on it. I want some, pico de gallo's done. Sorry, salsa. I'm confusing myself now. So green is going to be guacamole. That's a 5% dip. Pico de gallo, that's 10. Salsa's 20%. Well, that's a 10% decline. That's a correction. Perfect. Let's buy at 610. I'm not buying up here. Not in size. As of right now, if we have a weekly inside bar break, watch for direction, and that is likely the short-term move. Well, we broke it bearish. I said I wanted a sell-off into Wednesday. Well, I got it. So now the question is, do we wait until Friday to get confirmation, or do we make moves now? If this is what the S&P is doing, what can individual stocks do? Well, don't have to look very far. Where am I here? I got to go back to 3 boards. Let me go back to 3, back to here to the 1 day. Let's just look across the board because your stock probably has more beta than the S&P. S&P is down roughly 1% today. Same thing with the NASDAQ. So if now we go down to individual names or sectors, we can see whether they're underperforming the S&P, like equal weight technology. If you have the average technology stock today, it's down twice as much as SPY. So if the S&P can go down by roughly another 10%, your stock could go down by 20%. If this move continues, same thing with the Russell. For every $1 decline on the S&P, this one dropped by 2. Nvidia, roughly 2. Apple, roughly 2. Amazon, less than 1. And EVGO, positive. That one's odd. It's unusual. Tesla, same thing. Unusual. Something's happening here. I don't know what yet. It already had its decline. It's bouncing. But that's what we do. Regional banks down 3.7. Pew! Yeah, there's concern about banks right now. Look down here. Jets, 3.5. Yeah. So the pain is very hard to ignore When we look at our individual stocks, like mine, I didn't even look at these today. Oh my God, down 7, down 6. Pew, pew. It's like, why do I own this garbage? That's what I'm asking myself. So you're probably wondering the same thing. Why do I own this? Well, if you can't explain the reason why you own it, you need to get rid of it now, or at least make a plan. So here's what I'm doing, and I'm going to tell you exactly what my plan is. We want to be prepared for the best case scenario. I always buy stocks hoping they're going to go higher. I never secretly want to lose money. I want them to go up every single time. What's the worst case scenario, though? Sometimes you only know that in hindsight. Be ready for surprise. Like, what if we do go higher from here now or go lower? On the weekend, I said, again, people thought it was clickbait. I was right. Is there red today? Is it bloody? Oh, it is. And you probably feel like selling. Oh, I do kind of feel like selling. I am a little bit fearful. Well, the markets feel fearful right now. Extreme fear. Extreme. Yeah, it's extreme. It's almost down to single digits. That's a pretty extreme reading. I'm not saying it can't continue, but that's extreme. So now let's see what it actually means for the S&P 500. We go back. So the one day, if we close red tomorrow, that's 2 consecutive candle closes below. But let's go back to the note. Wednesday is what matters. Wednesday close into Thursday. Are we now going to wait for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to admit we're wrong, to make a plan? I wouldn't. I would make a plan right now. The plan is simple. It's free for you. What should you do? Pause right now if you need to, or go to the second or third link in the description. It should be this easy. It should take 3 steps. You have to do this for each individual stock, though. And a lot of people will find themselves here. I don't even know where to start. Well, it means you've planned too little and you got too much going on. But for some reason, you're still watching the video. And I say this all the time. There's only so many good practices. It's on the card if you know how to do it. So before, you're like, yeah, making a plan. I want to go enjoy my life. But today you're like, oh my God, I don't even know where to start. I'm going to stick my head in the sand. But you're watching this YouTube video, so it's okay to be stupid. Just keep it simple. It's okay to be stupid sometimes. I'm stupid Sammy all the time. Right? Stupid sandwich. I do it all the time. And I have regret every day. Every day that my stocks go down, I regret it. Or they go higher without me, I regret that they're going up. So now what we do, in my opinion, is we have to be prepared for the worst case scenario. Warning, FOMC, they already told us what they said. They said, watch out. Maybe the minutes you read are not going to be so bullish. He already told us. Kashkari already told us. He's like, yeah, when you read the minutes, you're going to see that I was a little bit hawkish last time. And I'm kind of hawkish this time too. Ooh, he's going to get fired. Trump doesn't like that. So that's on Wednesday. Oh my God, that's another day from now. Yeah, we got to get through Tuesday first. We got MBS and Trump meeting. And he sold a whole bunch of his stocks. So what's happening here? Canadian budget tonight, and then we got FOMC, then we got Nvidia. That's the one with the warnings. We got to get through all this first. What if they end up being bearish? What if this doesn't go well? What if it does go well, and then that's bearish? Well, that's the whole point. These are all things that can move the market. So all that I care about is the reaction to the news now. This is the emotional part versus the technical part. What I need to do is to respect my process. My process tells me that it doesn't matter why the move is happening. The reaction to the move is what happens. So that's it. What's the news versus the reaction to the news? Now, it doesn't matter what the news is. Does Nvidia blow it out of the water? Do they suck? It does not matter. It matters for me only whether we now have the technical confirmation no earlier than Friday at 4 o'clock for me. Then we go here. We have to close below the previous low. If that happens, we're also below the 50. And now the odds increase. We could slam down to strong support, 613. Ironically, the exact number I'm already looking for. So last part I'm going to leave you with, because I do want the videos to be a bit shorter. And I still have those hot tips for you, so watch out, is this. There's that big fat candle. Again, there's one line on my whole screen. I don't want to say that my process is the only process. It's just that a lot of times, if we're trying to be individual stock pickers, we need to know what is really driving the chart, not just looking at the chart. This should take 10 seconds to read it. It's going sideways just below short-term support, and long-term support is pretty far down there. That's where it could go to. That's long-term support. That's support. This is the short-term support until it's lost. So if we now look to the candle, which I'm trying to do and be objective, because I know I'm going to lose more money if it goes down there. And then it could go down more. This could be the start of a bear market. I don't know. This is what I'm watching here. Let me show you. So we're going to go back to Bitcoin, and that's the reason why this matters. There's our low. from the sell-off, the power slam. So, oh my God, right? Look at the volume. It cranked higher. So slam down to the 50. If now we fall below that low, that's where you're starting to get much more confirmation. Well, we're already making pretty good progress towards that 200. So why not get it out of the way before we go back up higher? This is what we want to watch for here. So pay attention to that low. Look at the number. It's at 652. That's our monthly low. Let's go to Bitcoin. What's the reason why? Well, isn't this like a preview? I've been saying Bitcoin's a pretty good predictor. High, higher high, new all-time high. It's boxed, which means it's not going anywhere. You can see that right here. It's just stuck. It's going sideways. At a certain point, the W's there, the bulls look like they won. They're at new all-time highs, and then they're not. And if we look here, there's the power slam day. It blew through the 50 in one day. Boop, right down to the 200, bounced, rejected again, bounced, and then lost it massively. Only made it up to the key relative lows. Death cross. But the key here is the relative low. Look at the volume. Same thing. People said that was the biggest liquidation in crypto because it happened all at once. So if that was the biggest liquidation, what happened here? We went lower and then lower and now lowest for now. Maybe it goes lower. Maybe it goes higher. If that was the maximum pain or capitulation, well, what does that mean now? We've had three new lower lows, 3 new lower highs with death on the chart. Could that death lead to the S&P going lower? It could. Does this look not like an M? Ah, crap. It kind of looks like an M. Well, yeah, that's kind of the point. There's more downside, and the volume is elevated here. So that's it. We need to wait all the way until Friday. On Wednesday close into Thursday, we get the data point that I really care about. So here's what I'm really, really focused on. I know people probably feel pretty upset today. They're like, I did it again. I knew it. You said easy dollars. You said buy the dip. Not all dips are created equal. Guacamole that's been left out for 2 months. Like that's not appealing to me. Oh, I can scrape the brown off. Cool. Well, I'd rather just wait for the entree. At a certain point, the market will drop 10%. Is it going to be now? I happen to think no, but I'm prepared to be wrong. And as of right now, it appears like I'm wrong. I'm getting the move lower, but now we have to wait. There's a lot of key news here. I think this is going to go well. I didn't see any headlines on here. I didn't check either. This one here, everyone skipped it. So who cares? Fed meeting minutes. He's like, yeah, you watch out. I'm going to be a cuck. And I'm going to be a cuck again in December. I'm not going to ignore that. I'm mindful of it. We got the data here, and then maybe jobs on Friday. We're supposed to get a deal before Thanksgiving, though. So what do you do with Thanksgiving? You don't grab the dip. You grab it with both hands. You dive right in there. Make sure you bring some ease or some sweatpants because you're not going to say no to dessert. Here's some stocks I bought today. My stocks actually did pretty good. We had a couple of bugs this morning. We're ironing those out for Black Friday. You can see what I own right now. I got some Lockheed Martin. I got some Dash. I got some Telecom. Or that's T-Mobile. And I got some CRISPR. Into what today? Dash went higher, and we made some money on that. Pretty happy about it. So the market went down. This went up. I'm not perfect. I'm just choosing random stocks right now, but I ordered all of these. I'm testing our system out to make sure it works into Black Friday. So instead of me telling you that everything is perfect and everything's going to be fine, I'm still buying stocks. I'm not that scared. Why? There's always good ideas. We have ideas all the time. And it's not like my system is the only way to do things. It just happens to be the algo way, which is my way. So if you want to see more, come hang out tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Thanks so much. I'll see you then.